you don't have a shield, the shield is mounted to you. So you'll have 2 wing nuts, 2 bolt holes here, and you'll mount what's called a buff that mounts first, and that comes up and protects you from taking a shot to the throat, which would kill you. And then they mount the Grand Guard, and that is your shield, but it's mounted to you. So it'll come out, wrap over your shoulder, your arm. It's gridded, so it'll catch the lance. And generally they have the size of being 12 inches across and 8 inches from top to bottom, so that you have a pretty good target. And that's where you're striking. And there you are going, you're trying to knock the other guy off. I always describe it as 2 trains, and they got put on the same track. And when it comes together, it's mayhem. I mean, you know, last year I almost died. I ended up with a pulmonary embolism from a bruised heart and a bruised vein, where my horse had stumbled, and I actually took a lance under the arm that hit me in the body and missed the armor. So that one will get your attention. You know, but you get broken thumbs, broken wrists. You know, I broke my thumb, broke my wrist, broke ribs, a lot of shoulders. Guys get their shoulders blown out a lot, but a lot of that comes from learning how to fall. You know, if you're gonna, when you do this, you better learn how to come off, because it ain't if or when, it's how bad when it happens. You know, it's like bull riding. It's not, are you gonna get hurt? You will. It's just a matter of when and how bad. You come in, if I catch you first, your lance is going on. You're not gonna hit me. So that's where a lot of technique comes in too, where if you ride fearless, like I ride, in the list tight, leaned over, straight on, because that's physics, man. The fastest point to somewhere is a straight line, right? So if you're sitting back here waiting to come in on me and hit me from the side or hit me more of an angle, I'm gonna hit you first.
I grew up on a horse farm and didn't know if I wanted to be a cowboy or if I wanted to go the night route. And well, once I saw my first Medieval Times dinner show, I thought, yeah, that's what I want to be, that's what I want to do. After 3 years of working at Medieval Times, I realized I really wasn't living my childhood dream. I wasn't a real knight. I was a knight in shiny polyester and tinsel. So I decided to leave Medieval Times and put together my own traveling show, at which time got a call from a promoter here in Estes Park, and wanted to know if I wanted to represent Canada at the first ever international championships. Borrowed a horse, borrowed some equipment, got up there, and after 3 days of competition, broke my hand, broke my wrist, broke 4 ribs, and I won. And my dream has taken off since then. You know, from light armor to heavy armor, I'm always trying to find a way to make the sport more competitive and at the same time safe, but also have those elements in there that will thrill a crowd. I've won this competition now 3 years in a row, but when it comes down to it, you know, I get a great thrill out of winning, yes, but I get a great thrill out of living my dream. And you know, it's really special for me, especially this weekend, because this is the first time that I'm actually able to win in front of my dream lady come true. And she's actually from Estes, so Estes actually has made 2 dreams come true. Real jousting, for me becoming a real knight, and the woman of my dreams. Heavy armor, I think, is really going to capitalize here in Estes Park. It's really going to show the crowds who've never seen heavy armor before what the real sport can be like. All but one of my horses were actually rescue horses, found at slaughterhouses throughout the United States. One was actually rescued from a Mennonite barn up in Canada. And it's a great thrill as well to be able to take those horses out of, you know, no future whatsoever, and to make them stars and shine in this world of ours. You know, it's a great thrill to be able to be a team member, you know, because you're not just yourself up there going down the list hitting a person. You have to be able to communicate with your horse, and I think that's one of the specialties I have as being, you know, growing up with horses all my life, is to be able to communicate with that horse and become a partner with that horse. And especially, you know, some of these horses at slaughterhouses, you know, unfortunately are there because they're mean horses or people can't handle them. But when they show the love and respect that you give them, they'll shine some back on you, and you know, it's a great thrill. That's you know your heart just, you know, echoes. Right now I'm traveling with 4 horses, but I'm looking for another 4 horses. My team is constantly growing. Every show that we do, every competition we compete at, there's always that one person in the crowd that comes down, and you know, I can see the shine in his eyes, and it looks exactly the same way my shine was when I was, you know, 15 and saw that show Medieval Times. And it's it's great to know that, you know, I was the first knight from Canada, and now we have upwards of 30 competitors representing, you know, our great nation up north. And I don't just train Canadians, though. I've also trained a lot of Americans. 3 years ago at the World Championships, 8 out of the top 10 were my students from different countries. So my future in this sport, you know, may not always be as a competitive jouster or competitive knight to compete in tournaments and win purse monies, but I'm also bringing a service to others to help them live their dreams.
Same format as the earlier light armor jousting. The knights will make 4 passes. The score will be a cumulative of the 4 passes.